Yay. Oh, fall in the mud.
Well, we're hiking.
We are hiking. Well, right now we're sitting, but we're in the middle of hiking.
Yes. We are not hiking in British Columbia, though.
No. No, we are here in Ontario at McCrae Lake Conservation Area. It's in the Muskoka area on Georgian Bay.
Cool.
North of Barrie, north of Toronto, south of Sudbury.
Cool. All right, well, we're just gonna take a little breather here because we're not used to hiking, we're used to paddling. And we no longer have boats because we moved and we sold them. So after a little break, we head on through the trail that way. Well, we found a spot for now. We're here for 2 nights, so we might travel on tomorrow, but this looks like it's going to be home for tonight.
Yeah.
Thinking we're going to set up our tents down over here. It's got some lichen on it, moss type plant thing. It's not too hilly, no sticks really, maybe just a couple sticks, not bad. The fire pit's just over there. So yeah, it's looking pretty decent for one night, maybe 2. Again, we might head on further tomorrow, but it's going to be dark quite soon. So instead of having a mad scramble trying to get set up in the dark, it's just easier to set up here and you know, have a decent night. Got my door facing the wrong way.
Good job.
I'm an expert.
You really trying to make another fail video?
Well, I mean, at least my fail videos are entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no way to peg the tents in because it's on shield. For those of you who are not familiar with the Canadian Shield, just Google it and you'll see what we're sitting on top of here at this spot.
A lot of rock.
Oh, a bush plane.
Yep.
This one's for Joe Robinette. Not going to be needing the tent pegs. Oh shit, I probably shouldn't lose them though. Hopefully just the weight of all of our gear in the tents will be enough to keep them on the ground. We shouldn't get any bad weather this weekend. It's looking really nice. And hopefully it will not be too windy. It's not windy right now. It has not been windy all day. We'll see.
I might not even put my fly on.
No?
Oh.
I don't know if the camera could hear that, but Cheryl said she might not put her fly on.
It looks like it's going to be a clear night, so maybe it'll be good for laying in the tent looking at stars.
It might be a good night for that, star watching. However, the dew's been very heavy lately, and I'm not really sure I want to wake up covered in dew.
Well...
But you can do whatever you want.
I can never remember which way I have the door when I roll it up. It's always a surprise. Oh, there's a little critter.
A little
Cricket. It's a cricket.
cricket.
Big black one. Better get out of here, cricket, or I'm likely to sleep on you.
Speaking of not being able to peg out the tents because we're just on solid granite, basically. That's okay because the tent flies actually clip, as I think I've shown in another video. The flies clip to the little buckles in the bottom of the
Ground sheet.
ground sheet. Yes, that's what it's called. However, the front door needs to be tied out somehow.
We could always tie our front doors together.
Tie them together?
Well, yeah, and then each one would be pulling on the other one, so they'd stay open.
I might just use that big rock over there.
Well, what am I going to use? I guess I could use the big rock too, just from the other side.
There's lots of rocks.
Okay.
Rock and roll. Oh man, I'm full of good jokes this weekend.
Oh boy.
Tents are set up, mostly. I think Cheryl still needs to get her front door pulled out. But I've got a nice heavy rock right there. That's holding my vestibule out. Vestibule, fancy word.
Fancy pants.
Yes. So I will be living in here. Now I just gotta get my sleeping pad in there and my sleeping bag. And I've got a little nook there for some of my gear. Cheryl currently does not have a nook because her fly is tight to her tent wall. But she shall nook very soon.
Nook.
Yes. Nooks for everybody.
Woo.
There's some clouds moving over, even though the weather, I just finished saying a few minutes ago, the weather's supposed to be really good. But whatever. We'll take whatever comes. It's getting dark pretty quick. The moon's coming up. It's pretty nice. So I am going to get my sleeping gear situated. Oh my god, there's a pile of cat hair in my tent from the trip across Canada.
Well, see, Kitty came with us.
Sleeping pad, check. Sleeping bag, check. Sleeping, not yet. We got a full moon coming up over there behind the camera. I will see if I can get a shot or two of that. If the clouds let me, I might not have time. There's a lot of unknowns in this camping business.
What? What are you talking about, Willis?
The only thing you can be truly certain of is that you will most likely be sleeping outside. Camping.
Yep.
Wise words, Shane, wise words.
That's about the only thing you can bet on, I suppose.
Okay, cool. Gear nook. We got a fire going. It's pretty dark now. I had to wander off in the bush with my headlamp to collect some firewood. Since it was so dark, I did not film, obviously. But we're here and we have a fire. We saw a neat little critter. It's called, what is it called? A skink?
Common 5-line skink.
A common 5-line skink. It's like a little salamander type critter, about, I don't know, 3 inches long. And it has this really neat blue coloration in it. But it was dark. Cheryl tried to take a picture on her phone, but we used red light, so she converted it to a black and white so you can't see the blue in the critter. Anyway, it's Cheryl's favorite time.
Fire time!
Fire time. It's morning time. I had a pretty good sleep.
Me too.
Yay.
I got up once in the night to go pee, but I think actually it was pretty early this morning. Actually, I wouldn't say night. It was like 4:30.
Cool. I might make a coffee.
Beefy boo.
Coffee.
First we has the coffee.
Then we do the things.
Yes.
Coffee time.
Coffee time.
That's a big can of gas for such a tiny stove.
Yep. It is. I mean, normally I would have it on this little tiny gas canister so you can see the difference. Kind of makes more sense when you put it like that. But this little tiny stove only weighs 2.5 grams, so it's very ultralight. All
right, we are back to adventuring. Unloaded, which makes the walk a lot easier. So the purpose of this is to see what else is around further down the trail. Maybe find a different camp spot.
Look at that.
Interesting. You made it.
Woohoo!
Do you have water?
I has water.
Yay.
Yep.
Back up the hill?
Yep, now we'll go back up the hill.
All right.
Okay. It's very vertical.
It is very vertical.
Oh, it's a niblet. Hey, niblet. Hello. Hello, niblet. Hello. Hello, niblet.
Success.
Ta-da.
So after climbing over that log, I believe I may have found a path down to the little beach area because it follows the stream, which obviously is going to lead to the water. Well, we made it to the beach.
Yep.
We figure that we like our spot up on the rocks. It is a nice view here. But the sand's kind of wet. And it's windy. And it's kind of small for a beach.
Lots of other people.
Okay, we are heading back. I think it will soon be lunchtime. I do believe it will be lunchtime. I'm getting hungry. I'm sure Cheryl is getting hungry too. What's for lunch?
Mexican rice.
Mexican sidekicks.
Mexican sidekicks. But I forgot to put pepperonis in them.
Uh-oh.
So just have to eat pepperoni separate. That's fine.
For any of you Skyrim fans out there, this bush is where your fortify marksman potions come from. Juniper berries. not a fire fail. Well, it was a pretty good day. Went for a little adventure, came back to our camp spot. I really like this spot. What do you think?
I love this spot.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The rock makes a lot of things pretty easy. Like the fire pit. So, so we're just hanging out, relaxing, you know, it's our weekend and all. We are most likely going to come back here multiple times. This place is pretty good.
Yeah. It's perfect.
Well, it's morning time. We've got the tops off of our tents to have them laid out sort of in the sun and drying, because there was a lot of heavy dew overnight. Like the outside of the tents were soaked.
Yep.
But it'll dry pretty quick in the sun, no big deal. Over there in the shade is Cheryl. It's coffee time.
Coffee time!
I'm gonna go sit down and have some coffee. So while we're waiting for our stuff to dry out and we're having some coffee, we've got a bunch of twigs left over. So we figured we'll have a little morning fire. Because who doesn't like a little morning fire? I don't know anybody that doesn't like a morning fire.
I like morning fire.
Yeah.
Morning fire time.
Yes, indeed. Disclaimer, no paper gets harmed in the making of my fires. Paper's close cousin, cardboard, also does not get harmed in the making of my fires. Unless we have cardboard garbage to burn, but that's really rare if we do.
Sometimes some tissue.
Sometimes some tissue, yes. The best morning fires are when you're out camping in like really early spring or late fall. And you know, it's down in the single digits in the morning, you know, like 4 or 5 degrees, and you wake up and you get out of the sleeping bag and you're like, oh man, it's a little nippy this morning, and then you get a morning fire going and it makes you feel like $1 million. Yeah. All right, we has fire.
Fire time!
Well, most of the stuff is all packed up. Just gotta finish putting the tents away. Pretty much time to hit the old dusty trail. Anyway, it was an awesome weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had tons of fun.
Cheryl would give 2 thumbs up, but she's playing with her tent pegs, or poles, tent poles. Well, that's one way to do it.
Yep. That's the Cheryl way.
It sure is. It's pretty much dry. Only took like an hour. Perfect. We're pretty much ready to roll.
Yep.
Cheryl's all packed up. I'm all packed up. Time to hit the trail.
Yep.
Woo. How are we doing?
I'm making it.
All right.
Almost.
Almost there.
Can you hear the highway?
Yep. You can do it.
Yep. I'm not in fabulous shape, but I can do it.
Oh. All right, onward to go. Just a little bit more.
You can do it.
Yeah. I love Jeep.